Yeah, in Florida we don't have those taxes. So yeah, from what I'm reading so far, this is PBS, right? PBS.org. So they're going to be pretty non-biased. I'm not going to lie, from what I've read so far, it doesn't sound like a bad bill. Let's keep going. This is the summary. So I do think the Democrats are tweaking a little bit but the problem, Red Dragonite, and the problem, Rob, is that at this point, we're playing teams. The Republicans can come up with the best fucking bill in the world that solves all of the problems, and the Democrats are still going to vote against it. And the Democrats can come up with the best bill in the world that solves all the problems, and the Republicans are still going to vote against it. And that's the problem we have in this fucking country. That's the problem we have in this fucking country. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the bill is good, whether the intentions are good, whether it will help the country. They're playing fucking party politics at this point, and they don't really care about the people that are caught in between. They're, oh, my team has to win. And in fact, they actively want the opposing team, the adversarial team, to lose. They don't give a fuck if it destroys the country. They don't care if it crashes the economy. In fact, half the time they want the economy to crash under the other party's governance. So they can point the finger and say, oh, look how the Democrats destroyed the economy. Look how the Republicans destroyed the economy. When in reality, like, nigga, you all live in the same country. We're all Americans. Like, why are what you're doing is literally affecting the entire country. Stop playing party politics. Let's keep going. There are scores of business. Oh, wait, sorry. You guys can't see the screen. There are scores of business related tax cuts, including allowing business to immediately write off 100% of costs for equipment and research. I mean, this right here. Fuck, bro. This is actually, I'm not going to lie. And I used to be a liberal. Now I'm more conservative. Obviously, they always say being liberal is the young man's game. As you get older and get more money and you start having to pay more taxes and you have more stuff to lose, you end up becoming more and more conservative. And I have noticed that I have become more conservative as I've gained more income and more money and more assets. But I do think that a tax cut that allows 100% write-offs for equipment and research is 100% going to boost tech development. It's gonna boost so much other things. Medical research, tech. Just tech and medical research alone is a fucking major W. The wealthiest households would see a $12,000 increase from the legislation, which would cost the poorest people $1,600 a year, according to the nonpartisan Congress Budget Office analysis of the House version. When they say, okay, they lost me there. When they say the wealthiest households would see a $12,000 increase, what do they mean that the poorest people would cost them $1,600? I don't understand this. They mean they're gonna have an increase of $1,600 in their taxes overall? I don't get what they meant here. I wish they would explain this a little bit more. Middle income taxpayers would see a tax break of $500 to $1,500 on CBO. Money for deportations, a border wall, and the Golden Dome. We need a Golden Dome. You know, I do think that it's ridiculous. I think that it's ridiculous that the United States provides Israel with Iron Dome and like 3 other missile defense systems, and we don't have the Golden Dome. Like, the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing? It says the bill would provide some $350 billion for Trump's border and national security agenda, including $46 billion for U.S.-Mexico border wall and $45 billion for 100,000 migrant detention facility beds, as he aims to fulfill his promise of the large mass deportation operation in the United States, the largest mass deportation operation in the United States. Money would go for hiring 10,000 new immigration and customs enforcement officers, with 10,000 signing bonuses and a surge of Border Patrol officers as well. The goal is to deport some 1 million people per year. I mean, fuck, we've had how many people coming in per year? Look, my parents, immigrants. And you don't see me over here crying about, oh, deportations, because if you're going to come into the country, you should come into the country the right way. if my people had to come in the country the right way and they had to do all the extra stuff to become citizens, why the hell do you think you can just get a free pass and come in without any type of checks and balances? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it doesn't. If you don't like it, go back to Mexico. Like, I don't get it. Especially when they're out here with an agenda. It's not like the people are just coming, they're asylum seekers. There's death and destruction in their country and they're coming for that reason alone. No, they're coming because they're trying to take advantage of our system. We built a system up. It took hundreds of years to build up, and then you want to come and freeload. Like, no. And then the worst part is when you come and freeload from those countries without following the proper process, you end up deteriorating the system that's already in place. And then you see a decay of the system, and the system starts to fall apart, and we end up reverting back to the country that you're from. Does that make sense, chat, or am I talking out of my ass here? I've seen it many, many times. Like, a group of people come, they don't want to assimilate into the American culture. They want to continue having their own culture, and then they influence our culture with their culture, and they become politicians, and then they influence the system, and then you actually have the system breaking down in real time. That's what we're seeing. So I do think that we need to enforce our border patrol, and we need to kick these people out because they are not here the right way. Come back the right way. Do the proper documentation. Rob Roberts says, I'm interested under this bill. Who's going to work the farms and build houses because we know Americans are too lazy? You know, Rob Roberts, this is an easy question though, bro. Don't you think that the government itself should just set up programs where they have migrant workers that come in? I mean, I think they already do have migrant workers, but just expand the program. Expand the program. Make it a system that actually fucking helps the people back in Mexico too. And we can have migrant workers come in and they come in for a season and they go back. Easy peasy. And they'll have all the proper documentation. They'll get proper pay, proper salaries. They're not going to be exploited. Like, we can do this the right way. I don't understand why we don't implement a system where we do it the right way. He says the Homeland Security Secretary would have a new $10 billion funded for grants for states that help with federal immigration enforcement and deportation actions. To help pay for it, immigrants would face various new fees, including when seeking asylum protection. Okay. I don't know if they should fee. Okay, this is the one. I finally found the point that I don't agree with that much. I don't think there should be a fee for asylum protection seekers. Call me controversial here, but I think that if you're fleeing death and destruction and your life is literally at risk and you show up at the border and they want to charge you a fee, I don't know. That feels kind of scummy. That does feel kind of scummy. But then again, America's a business, right? America's a business, right? We don't got free healthcare. America's a business. It's dog eat dog in this bitch. So I guess it's in line with our fucking modus operandi, right? Or am I capping, chat? He said, who's going to carry the boats and the logs? Robert says, now think about this.